is it's a device, a little egg-shaped device that you can hang in a tree, you put in a window, or do whatever you want to do with, and it just has some sensors embedded in it. And the important, I guess the feeling I have, and I think the feeling is shared by other people, is that these devices have to make a transition from sort of hacking, sort of looking things to, it has to look consumerist. It has to look like a nice consumer device, and wires and stuff are just out. They're right out. They're not going to succeed. So it's got a little, in other words, inside it, it's got these sensors. You can't see the sensors sticking out. There's little holes that air can flow through, but there's no sensors you can see. It's just a thing. And an egg is a nice emotive concept. That sends a signal back to a base station, which puts it on the net. There's all access to the thing. So that sort of solves the
looking at the kind of different scenarios, the different contexts. There's a real kind of dialogue that needs to take place here in terms of the user, right? If you're going to sort of take it from the parent versus the teacher versus, and so I think we need to imagine that there's going to be sort of multiple interfaces, right? In different contexts. But so what's the first one? What's the most important one? What would you say?
Well, it depends on the approach. I think that's somewhat recognized in how we were discussing this through. I mean, if you've bought the egg and plugged it in, I think we want to know if the data is registering.
Yeah.
I mean, you just turn it on, and that's where the simple triptych of here's your egg, there's the just.
Starting from the idea that it could be assembled, so that you do end up having this beautiful egg, but if you want to have the option of putting it together and learning what's inside it, and also understanding what the egg is, then we needed to have a way to be opened and closed. So I think where we ended up with that was having just a simple way of threading the crack in the egg, so that you can very simply open it up, and there'd be a place to mount the unit inside, and that the unit would be mounted slightly above the bottom in case this becomes something that you want to put something outside and there's some kind of condensation or moisture that collects, that there's a way for that to collect at the bottom and drain out the bottom. But that also the other idea of having the crack slightly open is we were trying to figure out the airflow mechanism.
Right, and just so with the crack is serving as like airflow, like it's 360, and then also the weatherproof it. If we're going to have these outside, then the next question is like, well, how does the shape affect like the airflow and therefore like the efficacy of like the sensor like reading, and so we're taking that into consideration, and also the materials that we're going to use, were they going to be porous or semi-permeable in some sense, and then what type of material would be like just appropriate for like the feel and the durability of this. So probably some sort of like silicone-based one, so the egg wouldn't break or dropped or something like that. But, and then also bottom weighted, so you could put it down and it would always stay upright.
Very cool.
Airport next to a road being bad, but actually, is that true? Are there other factors? What is it that makes good or bad? Maybe all our assumptions are completely wrong.
All kinds of social issues. So we've been covering health. It wouldn't surprise you that this is China. This is Los Angeles. So there's this big layer of smog, causes all kinds of health issues. This is China again. So if
we improve the air we breathe. So because we're all inside, we need a way to measure the things inside and then act upon it. So we had 4 ideas which basically combined the same